I did the short method.
Okay, cool. You did the short method. Awesome. But we still have to do some stuff to get there, right? What do we have to do?
So I put it into the 15 minus AI equals x plus y squared. And expanded it out to the x squared minus y squared.
Yep. Awesome. And again, just when you're in exam and stuff like that, I would do stuff like this, just for like sake of good mathematics, right? But I understand just kind of doing the examples, just being comfortable with this process is fine too. And then what do we got? We got.
Because the sort was even. I
Yep.
didn't really bother with the x squared minus y squared equals 15 for now. I went straight to the minus 8 equals 2xy.
Okay, yep. Minus 8 equals to 2xy. Cool. And it's good you get the negative there. And this is equating real and imaginary, yeah. Yep. And what do we get next?
Divided the minus 8 by 2.
Cool, yep. So basically now we're looking for things that multiply to negative 4 and satisfy this as well. Can we work that out? Yep.
4 and 1.
Yep, so looking at factors of this basically, right? 4 and 1, it's just you've got to work out what combination of negatives you are. But we've got a negative value here, so I know I'm going to be thinking 1 has to be a different sign, yeah? And looking at this guy, we need x squared to be 16 and y squared to be 1 because we're subtracting. So we've got x is equal to negative 4, y is equal to 1. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yep. And the other one we just swap them around. So x is equal to 4, y is equal to negative 1. Yeah. So can you see how that trick saves you a bit of time, avoiding the quartic equation, substitution, all that stuff. Yeah. So just as fine places, right? And those are our answers. Yeah. We happy with that?
And then I put it back into the
Okay. Right. Actually answering the question, finding the square roots. We found the variables x and y. Great. But you actually need to answer the question. So therefore, the square roots are. What are they? Minus 4 plus I, or 4 minus I. And how could we write that as a single thing? I'm just saying out of curiosity. Plus minus.
brackets 4 minus 1.
So let's do 4 minus. Yep. And then plus minus. You can essentially just take one of these and just write plus or minus in front of them. I think that would be fine. Yeah. I think they generally like to say, take the one with the. I mean, there's no real preference. I think. Yeah. Cool. So what this allows us to do now, right, is find the square root of any complex number. You'll notice that I've been talking about square roots a lot, but I haven't been writing the square root symbol. There's a reason for that. It's because when you write the square root symbol, there's actually an implication with it, right? Like when you write the square root of 36, the implication is that you take the positive square root. We call it the principal square root, right? It's not so clear-cut, like if I wrote the square root of this, it's not really clear what solution, did I rub it off? What was it? It's like 2 plus I, 2 minus I, yeah? Minus 2 minus I or something, yeah? It's not really clear which one I'm talking about. Like you might lend yourself to think that, the one with like more positives is the principal square root. But then you come to like something like this, which one's the principal square root? Which one's the positive? Which one's the negative square root, right? Yeah, maybe if you want to say the one with the positive real number or the one with the negative real number. The problem is that it's not really well defined, yeah? So we tend to kind of avoid it. A lot of textbooks will actually use that, but it's just kind of it's a bit of an iffy kind of area, yeah? What this allows us to do now, though, is to solve equations, and we'll look at this next lesson, right? But we can solve equations like this now, right? We could solve for example, something like this. Yeah? And I said the best way to solve something like this, is to try and factorize in some way. If you'd like, I can rewrite this. And so this is just a difference of 2 squares. If I have a difference of 2 squares, I can put them into 2 brackets. Something plus something, something minus something. What are those somethings? Yeah, right. Well, we'll go back to your identity that you wrote down earlier. It was that the square root of negative a squared is always plus or minus ai. Yeah? So I have z's here. And so, well, I don't know the square root of 10 as an integer, but that's fine. I can just leave it as the square root of 10i, the square root of 10i. Yeah? And so then we can solve our equation pretty easily. These are just our solutions. Yeah? Okay. We'll get into that next lesson though.